I was thinking about all the goals that I have set for 2025, and I was wondering how and in what way I was actually going to be able to achieve them. I mean, there must be some kind of a scientific or simplified method that can guarantee some kind of a result, right? Since others have done it, there must be some way that I can accomplish it too. So, after doing hours of research and extracting ideas from productivity books like Atomic Habits, The One Thing by Gary Keller, Grit by Angela Duckworth, and Harvard research about leveraging the power of small wins, I have condensed some of the key ideas from various authors into actionable steps that you can utilize to achieve your goals in 2025. So, for this exercise, we'll be considering a few different avatars in varying scenarios to cover as wide a cross section as possible and how we can help each of them go from point A to point B. Our first avatar is someone who has no idea what they want to do with their lives. They've probably made mistakes throughout their lives that has caused major setbacks. They have very little confidence in themselves, no money, and very little skills. So this avatar is broke, probably depressed. They are confused about life on a whole, but somewhere deep down in their hearts, they still have some sliver of hope to do something meaningful with their lives. So for the person in this position, their point B will be different from the person who already has most of these things figured out. There's a famous quote by Les Brown that says, "You don't get out of life what you want, you get out of life what you are." What we get out of life is not just based on our desires and wants, but what we attract to ourselves is a reflection of who we are as a person. Therefore, in order of priority, this avatar's first goal shouldn't be trying to get rich or buy the latest Lamborghini, but personal development. Personal development to most people can come off as being boring or just a waste of time. However, it is the most crucial step in doing anything meaningful with our lives. It's like trying to build a skyscraper with no solid foundation. Eventually, everything will come crashing down. So point B for Avatar A can be represented in a threefold graph which consists of self-awareness, self-efficacy, and self-development. I call this graph the process of becoming. So the gap between point A and point B for Avatar 1 is the process of firstly discovering your personal identity. In other words, knowing who they are as a person, their purpose, values, passions, strengths, weaknesses, and their unfair advantages that makes them unique and separate from everybody else. Your looks can be an unfair advantage. Your intelligence, being an organized mom, having access to a wide network. If you look close enough, there are many things that you can actually use as an unfair advantage to you. The second stage is self-efficacy. This is where you develop a strong self-concept, understand your self-worth, and learning to love, value, and appreciate yourself as a human being, because all of us need love and care, right? So this can also mean healing from past hurt, trauma, or abuse. So get better holistically first. And the third stage is self-development, which means becoming valuable to the market. This process involves investing in your mindset, health, and skill set. Whether it's reading books, going back to school, buying a course to learn a new skill, or losing weight, the goal is to develop yourself into someone that is valuable to those around you, which you will further leverage in the next steps ahead. So do not skip out on this process of self-development, as it is crucial for the achievements of your goals in 2025 and beyond. Once you're able to do that, then you can move on to the next avatar. So meet Jimmy, our second avatar. Jimmy has completed his bachelor's degree. He's young, single, educated, and has acquired some skills and experience while working a 9-to-5 for the past few years. Jimmy has a few things going for him, but Jimmy has a problem. Jimmy still feels unfulfilled, and his true dream seems to be a little bit out of reach. So how can we help Jimmy get his life from where he's at right now to where he truly wants to be? For this example, let's consider the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, who achieved the first powered and controlled airplane flight. This was by no means a small feat. They had no formal engineering education at the time, so their understanding and their skills were minimal. But they were propelled, quite literally, by a singular vision, which was to achieve human flight. Finally, on December 17, 1903, in a little town called Kitty Hawk, after many failed attempts, they achieved the first successful powered flight, changing the course of human history forever. So how can we help Jimmy to achieve flight? James Clear states that we must clearly define where we currently are, which is point A, and where we want to be, which is point B. So this will help Jimmy to bridge the gap and create a measurable target. Now let's work backwards. We need to figure out a way to break down the large overarching goal, which is achieving flight, into smaller, more actionable steps or mini goals. So Gary Keller talks about this scientific principle called the goal gradient hypothesis in his book, The One Thing, which states that People become more motivated as they see progress towards a specific goal. So rather than trying to conquer the mountain, start with a small hill. Breaking vision down into milestones creates psychological momentum. Let's look at some examples. For each of these goals, you must apply 3 simple principles: specificity, a time frame, and relevance. So say for example, Jimmy has hopes of starting a family and he wants to buy a home. So let's utilize these 3 principles of specificity, defining why it's relevant to Jimmy, and setting a time frame. The goal now becomes buying a 3-bedroom home with a garage in a safe neighborhood in the next 5 years. Jimmy's reason is he grew up in a poor family, a bad neighborhood, and he desires a beautiful home to bond with his family. Next, you want to research the housing market. Study housing prices in your target area and calculate the average down payments that are needed for purchasing a house. And by the way, this is all general information, guys. I'm not a real estate agent or a home advisor. So once Jimmy understands the market and has an idea of the pricing, the next thing is to develop a plan to secure finances. Jimmy can start saving for a down payment using a high-yielding saving account that can at least gain some interest over time. Using the SMART Gold method, Jimmy can aim to save $25,000, for example, over a 2-year period of time by setting aside $1,000 per month. Jimmy can also focus on improving his credit score to secure favorable loan terms with the bank so he can get pre-approved for a mortgage if it is that he wants to go that route anyway. Then, using James Clear's suggestions of creating systems and daily atomic habits, Jimmy can commit to a weekly review of his finances, creating a sustainable budget, cutting unnecessary expenses, and tracking his progress with his savings every week or every month. Finally, Jimmy can apply Hal Elrod's suggestion of visualization and daily affirmations to strengthen his mindset. There's absolutely no doubt that Jimmy will face discouragement and setbacks during the process of pursuing these goals and probably also be tempted to give up. In his book, The Miracle Morning, Hal Elrod talks about how constantly visualizing yourself achieving the goal and affirming your commitment to that goal can significantly improve your chances of actually seeing that goal through to the end. So visualization activates the same areas of the brain as actually performing the activity itself. So Jimmy can use affirmations like, I am a disciplined saver, or I am a future home owner. So let's look at another example, achieving financial freedom. Making it more specific, ask yourself, what does financial freedom look like for you? Let's set the goal as achieving financial freedom by generating $10,000 per month in passive income online by 2027. Now, let's work backwards to achieve our goal. The first step is to define different passive income streams that are online based that's going to allow us to accomplish our goal in the next 2 years. One way you can do this is by leveraging investments. Investing in your local stock exchange or investing in dividends-paying stocks is one avenue where you can have your money work for you. Or you can create a digital product online that you can create once and sell many times. You can also create a course, based on the skills that you've acquired to this point, or probably even create some kind of a merch that you can sell online with your own unique designs. So these are just a few ideas, and you can always do your own research. So to break it down even further, let's say that you decide to start with investments. You can allocate 10 to 20% of your monthly income to investments and diversify between stocks, real estate investing, and other side businesses. So using James Clear's advice of creating your daily and weekly systems, you can create a budget to track your daily expenses, avoiding unnecessary spending, and educating yourself on financial literacy. Read books like Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki or The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham to understand more about investment and broadening your financial wisdom. The final avatar is Sally. Sally is a stay-at-home mom with little technical skills, but she has a ton of experience raising kids, being organized as a mom, and she always wanted to be a teacher. Sally then decides that she wants to start a YouTube channel so she can share her knowledge and experience with other young moms. Sally's goal is to create an educational parenting channel to inspire young moms who are trying to figure out motherhood for the first time. She's got her niche, which are young moms struggling with their first child. She's got her why, and she has a time frame for achieving her goal. So let's break it down together. The first thing that I did when I was starting my own YouTube channel was something I learned from James Clear again from the book Atomic Habits. I made the goal of starting YouTube an identity-based goal rather than an outcome-based goal. So rather than jumping right into creating videos, I had to reframe my thoughts towards being a successful YouTuber rather than treating YouTube as an outcome-based goal. So that way, whether or not I was getting the results that I desired in the time frame or not, my identity as a YouTuber and my reason for starting YouTube will keep me going even when I'm only getting 50 views on a video that took me hours to make. The next step is to develop an ideal avatar. Others refers to this as niching down. This is the one person that you're going to be making videos for and solving a problem that you know that they might be facing. So you can also be your own ideal avatar and solve problems for the version of yourself that struggled with what you're currently good at. So this includes researching your audience's pain points, researching topics your audience might be searching for, or using tools like TubeBuddy or vidIQ to optimize keywords and deciding on your unique value proposition. So what unique experiences or story can you leverage to separate yourself from others within your niche? Once you are clear on who you're making your videos for and your unfair advantages that you are going to leverage, then the rest of the process becomes a bit easier. Next, Sally should focus on equipment acquisition and skills development. What assets do you have in your possession now? Do you have a good smartphone, a big window for natural lighting, or an empty room that you can reorganize? Take stock of all of the assets that you have around you first before you even begin deciding to buy fancy cameras or gear. However, when you are ready to get better, you should invest in a quality camera like the Sony ZV-E10 or a good microphone and proper lighting to improve your video quality. If you have to invest in anything first, it should be good audio. Great audio is better than good video, at least when you're just starting out. Next, you want to focus on getting better. So this is where you learn skills like video editing, thumbnail design, creating attention-grabbing titles, and writing engaging scripts depending on the type of videos that you're looking to produce. All this can be learned for free on YouTube, or if you want to invest in a course, that's also okay. So lastly, you want to focus on content strategy and systems. So based on the amount of time that you have per day or per week, you can commit to posting 1 to 2 videos per week for the next 6 months. Use an hour a day to research trends in your niche, to create viral videos or engaging content, and study keywords and title optimizations to improve searchability for your videos. So using these strategies of mental reframing, creating systems and daily habits, visualization, breaking your goals down to leverage small wins, and committing to continuous growth, you can accomplish any goal that you've set out in your mind to do in 2025. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if you're ready to get started in 2025, you can check out this other video over here. So let's conquer 2025 together.